Hey, how y'all doing today? I'm just about to dive right in, and let's talk about people that is being a reliable source. Because if you're a reliable source to some people, they're always going to, lean on you. You're always going to be their crutch. They're always going to be codependent towards you anytime they need help. Now, that could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on the person if they will abuse it. And they never are trying to find a way to get out the hole that they dug themselves in, or if they're immature, ungrateful. These are signs we have to look out for, because if you are too nice, right? People can take advantage of that. And I know it sounds crazy, but they will. You would think, oh no, they're not using me. But yet still, these people continue to come back, and they're never trying to find a way. They become comfortable with you paying all their bills, or you're coming to pick them up, taking them to work, take them grocery shopping, or take them out, go somewhere. They have become codependent on you. So now you are becoming a reliable source, and they will take your kindness for weakness. Now, this can roll over to relationships. Think about that. You're getting with somebody, you may get married to somebody, get engaged to somebody, or a long-term relationship, and things can get a little crazy. You may have slept with them, fornicated or whatever. You may have messed up, but you can, be forgiven and start over, and just don't keep doing it. Wait until you get married. But you can end up in a codependent slash, reliable source for stability. What I mean by that is some people will just expect you to pay all the bills, and they don't have to do nothing, bring nothing to the table. Some people don't want to cook, don't want to clean, don't want to go out, don't want to have fun, enjoy their person, but yet still they expect you to do everything. So in a relationship, you got to understand, it's not I anymore, it's we. We get some people are okay with paying all the bills. That's perfectly fine. We get it's okay for some people to say, hey, we'll split the bill, go 50-50. That's okay as well. But when we don't have these talks and we don't sit down with our person and help them understand what we like, we don't set boundaries, standards, morals, we don't set the benchmark, because you want to be with somebody that has a good character, someone that follows God, Jesus Christ, someone that is loving, caring, inspires you to do better, motivates you. These are the type of people that we want to be with. We don't want to just be with somebody just because they feel like you're rich or you got money or you're well off and you can afford a lot of nice things, materialistic things, like looks, money, and status. We already know the world have become so materialistic because of social media, Instagram, online, the internet. Everybody posts their highlights of their lifestyle online, so they don't let you see the struggle that they've been through with. Yeah, you only get to see the highlights of their life, right? So you're thinking the whole time, okay, maybe this person really is like that. Maybe they do have it like that. Now I can use them. But some people will use that to get you and then switch up when you get in a relationship with them and not do it anymore. They're deceiving you. So that's why you don't want to go into a relationship with your pockets. You want it to be genuine. Both of us really love each other. It's neutral. We don't want nobody using nobody. Like, that's crazy. Why would you even think that's love? Just because they're stable and they have money in their pocket. There's no emotional attachment there. What I mean, you're codependent. So you have to know the difference between being codependent and a companion. Codependent, you just don't want to be alone. You're okay with being with somebody. A companion is somebody that you can set boundaries, standards, rules, regulations. You can live your life together, be happy. You truly love each other. You got each other back when you're going through your ups and downs. Nobody's tearing each other down. You truly love that person. You want to spend the rest of your life with that person. You don't want to divorce that person and try to remarry somebody else, because that will be a sin. You will be living in adultery. So you can't do that. You don't want to be breaking up and making up with people, going out here fornicating because you're trying to get to the person with the biggest bag, the biggest bank account, the most money. So we really have to watch out for that. These are little tactics and tricks, like narcissistic people use on you. They'll spin it and flip it over you. You're broke, for example. Some people actually test your intelligence with that. They will actually test you and try you. Oh, okay. Well, if I play on their pride, their ego, call them broke, you're a bum, now they'll do it. See, they want to get something out of you. That's not a true companion. I'm sorry. That's codependency. That's somebody want you to fund their lifestyle, and that's not what we want here. We don't want nobody to be a crutch. Okay, we want you to be able to stand on your own, especially if you want to be in a long-term relationship, because that will put a strain on a long-term relationship if you got one person that doesn't want to work or have any goals or dreams or ambitions that they would like to do in life. And all they want to do is just sit here and say, oh, well, it was maybe because of this reason or that reason. They have all these excuses except doing it the right way. Do you have any goals, dreams, hobbies that you can probably turn into a business, a side hustle, anything? We don't want to be like that, because that right there can cause problems later on down the line. Whenever somebody is codependent and all they want is your money, that's greed. That's adultery. Some people are so greedy, they put money on a high pedestal. We're supposed to put God first, especially true chosen ones. I hear so many people online saying that, and I'm just like, okay, if this is really true, then a true chosen one, a true disciple like I am, you will lead the people in the right direction. You won't lie to them. You won't tell them that it's okay to get divorced and remarriage, because that will be a sin. You will be living in adultery unless the person that they divorce passes away first. Then that covenant is broken, because until death do you part. You said your vows, so you should understand that every pastor, bishop, minister, should explain that to people before they even walk down the aisle. Marriage counseling, engagement, long-term relationship, you should have this already brought to your attention. This is forever. This ain't no until I get bored, until I find somebody else to have more money, somebody that looks better, somebody that lied, that said that they were going to stay in shape, and now they're on the couch Netflixing, chilling, eating bonbons. Now I don't want them anymore. So my attention, their looks dropped. So now they look ugly to me now. It's not there anymore. The love's not there. The spark's not there anymore. No. You're in it for the long ride. Until death do you apart. There's no excuses. You can't just make up stuff. You can't just say, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave just because a person doesn't look good anymore. They didn't keep their self up. They may have had a child, or the guy doesn't work out. He gained a lot of weight. You can't just leave them high and dry like that. You're supposed to do everything you can to come together, sit down at the table and talk things out, try to work it out the best you can. You don't just give up when times get rough. And we don't have a lot of people to keep it real with us like that. Most people just, turn the other cheek. Like, nah, I'm good. I don't even want to be with you anymore. It's over. I'm done. You don't look good. You turn me off. We argue, fuss, and fight too much, but they won't go get counseling. They won't go get marriage counseling. They won't go see a therapist to help them with their attitudes, and their selfishness. Some people need help mentally. Some people become mentally broken over time. And that's where the money comes into play, because they think materialistic things, buying things, becoming codependent, and you're a reliable source will make them happy and bring them happiness. And it don't. I've heard so many people with money, they will all tell you the same thing. Money don't buy you happiness. It don't. I know people right now that have a lot of things, money, cars, take trips, and it's still not all the way. They're still not all the way there yet. They're like, no, I still feel like that void is missing, and it's God. But now they're trying to get in church, and I'm so proud. I'm so happy for them. Their wife is trying to get them in church now, get them on the right track, follow Jesus, follow Christ, put God first in everything. Then be on your purpose, work hard, and build together. Because if God is not first, you're going to be lost, because a man needs God to guide him, because he's called to be the leader, the man of the house. And if the woman is trying to lead the man, that's out of order, because it's supposed to be God, the man, woman, then children. That's order. That's the way the order's supposed to go. And in a true godly relationship, spiritual people should know that already. And if they don't, then they have been lied to by pastors, bishops, ministers, society, whoever. Whoever lied to them, they need to, correct that. But yeah, we definitely don't want to go into nothing codependent, because this right here have destroyed so many families, so many relationships when it became all about money and stability. We have so many people choosing wrong because they feel like, oh, money's going to make it all better. Materialistic lifestyle. I can just flex on the gram and just show everybody online on the internet I'm living this high-end lifestyle. And I'm going to fake smile and kiki and laugh with the person I'm with, but I'm really with them for money. Looks, money, and status is not going to fill that void. You need to put God first, build your purpose, have a hobby, do the things that you love to do, that you grew up, even if you grew up as a child doing them fun things when you were teenage years and high school years. Like, you have to keep that fun there. You can't stop dating each other. It's a lot of things you still have to do. So you definitely don't want to stop doing certain things. A lot of people just like, no, I got bored, so I left the person. I had a girl that I used to talk to. She said the reason why she broke up with some dudes because they were so boring. All they wanted to do was just play the game. Wanted them to come over and play the game, and they watched them play the game. That's why they broke up with them. And I say, see, that's a problem, And we were just in the talking phases. We never really got serious dating, made it to engagement or marriage or nothing like that. I never been married, but I could have ended up married, and to some people that was divorced, and that's why I touch on this topic so much, by the way. But yeah, it's just like, what is going on? Are we do they feel like, okay, you can just not date your person anymore and it's just all about the bag? Like, come on now, let's make it make sense. Like, we just have to be real. I think set your boundaries, your standards, morals, meet somebody that have a good character, personality, enjoy life together, never stop dating each other. I heard some other relationship coaches say that too. Keep that standard. Always work out, try to eat healthy, always date each other, go out, have fun, and things can work itself out. Because if you lose those things in the middle of you being together, because you got the person and they were thinking this was how we were going to spend our life together, and then you switch up and it becomes all about now paying bills and just sleeping together and don't even love on each other anymore. We got married to do a bunch of what? Be old people. Nothing against that, but I'm just saying that's what we got married for. That's what we're trying to get married for. That's why we're trying to get engaged, to just do what? Just so I be codependent, somebody to lay next to me so I don't be alone. Nah, I'm sorry. I want a companion. I want somebody that can actually love me, and we actually bond together, grow together, and communicate, and actually tell each other truths. I don't do the lying. I do not do the lying. So if you're willing to keep it 100, you can go a long way with that. But I just want to touch on that right there. Be careful with being a reliable source with the wrong person, because they can end up using you. So till next time, guys, thank you so much. Everybody stay blessed and put God first.